Sunday, child.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah.
All right. So I just wanted to talk a little bit. This week I actually took a class, an African American Studies class at Georgia State, and it kind of inspired me in what I'm about to speak about today. A spiritual is a type of religious folk song that is mostly associated with the enslavement of African people in the American South. The songs multiplied in the last few decades of the 18th century, leading up to the abolishment of legalized slavery in the 1860s. The African American spiritual, also called the Negro spiritual, constitutes one of the largest and most significant forms of American folk song. The term spiritual is derived from the King James Bible translation of Ephesians 5:19. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. The form has its roots in the informal gatherings of African slaves in praise houses and outdoor meetings called brush arbor meetings, bush meetings, or camp meetings in the 18th century. At the meetings, participants would sing, chant, dance, and sometimes enter ecstatic trances. Spirituals also stem from the ring shout, a shuffling secular dance, to chanting and hand clapping that was common among early plantation slaves. My people told stories from Genesis to Revelation with God's faithful as the main characters. They knew about Adam and Eve in the garden, about Moses and the Red Sea. They sang of the Hebrew children and Joshua at the Battle of Jericho. They could tell you about Mary, Jesus, God, and the devil. If you stood around long enough, you'd hear a song about a blind man singing, God troubling the water, Ezekiel seeing a wheel, Jesus being crucified and raised from the dead. If slaves couldn't read the Bible, they would memorize biblical stories they heard and translate them into song. The songs were also used to communicate with one another without the knowledge of their masters. This was particularly the case when a slave was planning to escape bondage and to seek freedom via the Underground Railroad. Spirituals were created without preparation and were passed orally from person to person. These folk songs were improvised as suited the singers. There is record of approximately 6,000 spirituals or sorrow songs. However, the oral tradition of the slaves' ancestors and the prohibition against slaves learning to read or write meant that the actual number of songs are unknown because they can't write them down. Sometimes, let me try that one more time. Some of the best known spirituals include Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child. I sang that last night. I don't know if I can do that right now. Somebody Knows the Trouble I've Seen, Steal Away, Swing Low, Swing Chariot, Go Down Moses, He's Got the Whole World in His Hand, and Every Time I Feel the Spirit, Let Us Break Bread Together on Our Knees, and Wade in the Water. As Africanized Christianity took hold of the slave population, spirituals served as a way to express the community's new faith as well as its sorrows and its hopes. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around.